I know what you're thinking. You probably think I'm either Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Filipino, or Thai. But guess what? You're wrong. I am 99.9% Vietnamese. And what does that mean? That means I grew up with a lot of things that other kids had to go through growing up within a Vietnamese household. You know, within any Vietnamese household, you have your green oil, or aka Yao Sun. And this is essentially the Vietnamese holy water. And you use it for everything. It heals your, when you're sick, when you have a fever, any bumps and bruises, you're hungover a bit. Guess what? You got this green oil and it will solve everything according to Vietnamese households. The second thing within all Vietnamese households, and you know you're Vietnamese, is your Sriracha sauce on deck. And you're probably wondering, that red sauce when used for your pho. But guess what? It originated in the Vietnam, baby. Vietnamese. And you don't just use it for your noodles, you use it for your rice, you put it on your eggs, you put it on everything. But speaking of sauces, there's other sauces that you gotta have too. This includes your garlic, chili paste, your fish sauce, aka nước mắm. Gotta have that on deck, man. This is the staple of every Vietnamese household and cooking. Even though it smells really bad, like when it comes to taste, when it comes to entertainment, Vietnamese love their karaoke. Not in terms of like Magic Mike and singing along, like we do that too, but I'm talking about specifically about that Paris by Night, that Van Sun, that Asia, and you can hear it blasting within any Vietnamese household on any weekend. And you're Vietnamese, the very last thing is when you see that feather duster, you know what I'm talking about. And that will bring you nightmares because you were whipped or smacked with it when you were a kid, especially in Vietnamese household, and it was always bright and colorful. You would think, oh, that's such a, bright and fancy feather duster you got there. But no, that represents violence, pain, and a lot of tears.
No ma, boy, come here right now. I'm gonna smack you right now. Come here.
And when it comes to youth and our music, you know exactly who Thai Viet G is and Chucky Atkins. I'm talking about that Vietnamese, man. Don't mess, got beef. Next time you ask, what kind of Asian are you? Well, you just need to watch this video, because I'm all about that Vietnamese, baby. See y'all next one. Trời ơi, tao không biết nói tiếng Việt không. La 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 la. Hey, 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 hey.